The stench hit first, a wave of ammonia and decay that made the rescuers gag. Inside, a horror unfolded. A dog, barely recognizable, cowered in a cage barely larger than its body. The dog's fur was matted and filthy, clinging to its emaciated frame. Its ribs were visible, each breath a shallow struggle. Its eyes, dull and clouded with despair, held a haunting emptiness. The rescuers exchanged glances, their hearts heavy with the weight of what they had found. This wasn't just neglect, it was torture, a slow, agonizing imprisonment. 4 years this creature had endured this hell, deprived of everything that makes life worth living. They had to show this dog that the world wasn't all darkness. The cage was a rusted metal monstrosity, its bars warped and twisted. It was a prison, a cage of despair that had held the dog captive for an unimaginable length of time. The floor of the cage was a solid mass of filth, a testament to years of neglect. The dog lay curled in a corner, its body pressed against the cold, hard metal. Its fur was matted and stained, a tangled mess of dirt and excrement. The cage was more than just a physical confinement. It was a symbol of the dog's lost spirit. The rescuers knew they had to dismantle this cage, not just physically, but also metaphorically. They had to break down the walls of fear and neglect that had imprisoned this dog's soul. 4 long years of isolation had taken a heavy toll on the dog, leaving it a shadow of its former self. Its physical condition was dire, its body emaciated and weak, struggling to stand on its frail legs. The dog flinched at every sudden movement, its body trembling with fear, as if expecting the worst at any moment. It shied away from human touch, its eyes wide with terror, unable to comprehend the possibility of kindness. It had lost all trust in the world, all hope of kindness. Its spirit crushed under the weight of neglect. The dog's spirit was broken, crushed by years of loneliness and neglect, a prisoner of its own despair. It had forgotten what it meant to be a dog, to run and play, to feel the warmth of the sun on its fur, to experience joy. The dog's isolation had not only deprived it of physical necessities, but also of the emotional nourishment that all living creatures crave, leaving it hollow inside. The absence of love and care had left a gaping void in its heart, a wound that would take time and patience to heal, a scar of isolation. They had to rekindle the spark of life that had been dimmed by years of darkness, to show the dog that it could trust again, that it could be loved. The rescue operation was a delicate dance of compassion and efficiency. The rescuers moved slowly, speaking in soft, reassuring tones. They wanted to minimize the dog's fear, to let it know they were there to help. The first step was to coax the dog out of the cage. Finally, with gentle persuasion and a tempting piece of food, the rescuers managed to lure the dog out of its prison. As the dog stepped onto the grass for the first time in years, its legs wobbled uncertainly. It took a tentative sniff of the fresh air, a hesitant lick of its lips. The rescuers carefully wrapped the dog in a soft blanket, shielding it from the unfamiliar world. They knew that this was just the first step in a long journey of healing and recovery. They were committed to giving this dog a second chance at life. The feeling of grass beneath its paws was a revelation, a sensation it had never experienced before. For 4 long years, the dog had known only the cold, hard bars of its cage and the filth beneath it. The days were monotonous, filled with the same bleak surroundings and the same hopelessness. Now the soft, yielding earth sent a ripple of surprise through its emaciated body. Each step was a new discovery, a new sensation that it had been deprived of for so long. It took a tentative step, then another, its legs trembling with unfamiliarity. The ground felt strange yet comforting, a stark contrast to the hard, unyielding floor of its cage. The fresh air filled its lungs, a stark contrast to the stale, ammonia-laden air of its prison. It was a breath of life, invigorating and pure, something it had almost forgotten existed. The sun warmed its matted fur, a gentle caress that it hadn't felt in years. The warmth seeped into its bones, bringing a sense of comfort and hope. The world outside the cage was a kaleidoscope of sights and sounds. Birds chirped, leaves rustled, and the wind whispered secrets it had never heard before. It cautiously lifted its head, taking in the vastness of the sky, the endless expanse of green. The horizon seemed to stretch on forever, a stark contrast to the confined space it had known. It was a world beyond its comprehension, a world that held both promise and uncertainty. Every new sight and sound was a reminder of the freedom it had gained. It was the first glimmer of a new beginning, a promise of a life beyond the cage, a life filled with possibilities, where every day could bring a new adventure. The first human touch in years was tentative, gentle. The rescuers approached the dog with caution, their hands outstretched, palms open. They spoke in soft, soothing tones, their voices conveying reassurance and compassion. The dog flinched initially, its body tensing in anticipation of pain. But the touch was different this time. It wasn't harsh or punishing. It was gentle, almost hesitant, like the caress of a warm breeze. The dog slowly relaxed, its trembling subsiding. It cautiously nuzzled its head against a rescuer's hand, a gesture of trust that spoke volumes. It was the beginning of a new relationship, built on trust and compassion. The road to recovery was long and arduous. The dog's physical condition was precarious, its body weakened by years of malnutrition and neglect. A veterinarian carefully examined the dog, administering necessary medications and providing much-needed nourishment. Slowly but surely, the dog began to regain its health. Its ribs became less prominent. Its fur started to regain its shine. Its eyes, once dull and lifeless, began to sparkle with a newfound vitality. But the healing went beyond the physical. With each passing day, the dog's emotional wounds began to mend. The constant care and attention of its rescuers helped to rebuild its trust in humans. The healing was a journey, not a destination. The transformation was remarkable. The emaciated, terrified creature that had been rescued from the cage was slowly disappearing, replaced by a healthy, happy dog. Its fur, once matted and filthy, now gleamed with health. Its eyes, once clouded with despair, now shone with intelligence and affection. Its body, once skeletal, now filled out with muscle and vitality. The dog's personality began to emerge. It was playful and affectionate, eager for attention and cuddles. It loved to run and chase balls, to roll around in the grass, to bask in the sun. The transformation was not just physical, it was a transformation of the spirit. The dog's resilience was an inspiration, a testament to the indomitable spirit of animals. The time came for the dog to find a forever home. The rescuers carefully screened potential adopters looking for the perfect match. They wanted a home filled with love, patience, and understanding, a home where the dog could finally experience the life it deserved. Finally, they found it. A loving family, with a big yard and even bigger hearts, welcomed the dog into their lives. The dog settled into its new home with remarkable ease. It quickly bonded with its new family, showering them with affection and loyalty. It reveled in the simple pleasures of walks in the park, cuddles on the couch, and games of fetch in the backyard. The dog's new life was a stark contrast to the horrors of its past. The dog had finally found its place in the world, a place where it was cherished. The dog's story is a powerful reminder of the importance of compassion. It highlights the transformative power of kindness and the profound impact that even small acts of caring can have. The rescuers who saved the dog didn't just rescue an animal, they rescued a soul. They gave the dog a second chance at life, a chance to experience love, joy, and belonging. Their actions were a testament to the best of humanity, a shining example of empathy and selflessness. The dog's story also underscores the importance of animal welfare and the need to speak out against cruelty and neglect. It is a call to action, a reminder that we all have a responsibility to protect vulnerable creatures and to ensure their well-being. The dog's journey from despair to happiness is a testament to the enduring strength of the human-animal bond. The dog's story ends not with sadness or regret, but with hope. It is a tale that transcends the boundaries of despair, showing us the power of love and compassion. It is a story of triumph over adversity, a testament to the indomitable spirit of animals. Despite the hardships faced, the dog never gave up, and neither did the people who believed in its potential for a better life. The dog's journey from the cage of despair to the embrace of a loving family is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope can prevail. This transformation is a powerful example of what can happen when kindness and determination come together. The dog's future is bright, filled with the promise of endless love, playful romps in the park, and cozy nights by the fire. Each day brings new adventures and cherished moments, creating a life full of joy and contentment. It is a future free from fear and pain, a future filled with joy and companionship. The bond between the dog and its new family grows stronger with each passing day, a testament to the healing power of love. The dog's story is a beacon of light, illuminating the path towards a more compassionate world. It encourages us to look beyond the surface and see the potential for happiness in every living being. It is a story that reminds us that every life has value and every creature deserves a second chance. The dog's transformation from a state of neglect to one of love and care is a powerful message of hope and redemption. The dog's story inspires us to open our hearts and homes to animals in need, to offer them the love and care they deserve. By doing so, we not only change their lives but also enrich our own, creating a world where compassion and kindness prevail.